unfinished business in Southwest Florida. Contractors accused of taking money but not finishing the job.
It's by far the biggest complaint that comes to the NBC2 investigators.
Do you think that's a problem?
Absolutely.
Tonight, we assemble and listen to viewers who say they are powerless victims. And the NBC2 investigators take their complaints to those we trust to hold contractors accountable. They are telling us their stories in hopes of helping others.
NBC2 investigator Rachel Polanski is here with what we've uncovered.
8 different people.
I just wanted a pool for my young daughter and son.
Sold 8 different dreams.
And he basically started a little bit of the work, and then after the hurricane, never came back.
That they say turned into nightmares.
It's a modern day stick-up, you know. Right. They just don't have a gun.
So how much money have you lost throughout this ordeal?
$15,000.
We were down $23,000.
These people claim that 3 different licensed Southwest Florida contractors took their money but didn't finish their projects.
We had liens that exceeded $100,000.
We lost around $40,000.
All 8 filed complaints through the state, the Attorney General's office, or local law enforcement.
It's a serious situation in Florida that something has to be done.
But none of the 3 business owners in question, Christopher Cheney of Southern Premier, Walter Rowley of Sand Dollar Pool and Spa, or Stephen Hunnell, a Marco Island builder, have been arrested, charged, or jailed. A check on their records reveals that Cheney's license is now listed as inactive. Rowley, who was licensed through another man, is now listed as relinquished, and Hunnell still has an active license, although Collier County Sheriff's Office tells NBC2 that they are investigating.
There's no convictions for them. There's no repercussion for their actions, and there really has to be.
2 of these 3 contractors ran their businesses out of Cape Coral, so we took our questions straight to KPD's Corporal Philip Mullen.
So do you think law enforcement is doing everything they can to hold these bad contractors accountable?
I do. Unfortunately, it is a complicated statute, but we can't deal in civil law. We only deal in criminal law.
He's right. Many contractor disputes are civil, but when the NBC2 investigators went to work reading through Florida law, we found Statute 713, also known as the Construction Lien Law. And one provision of that law, 713.345, says if a contractor misuses a construction payment, there are criminal penalties. Real estate attorney Kevin Jursinski confirms it's a felony.
There is teeth in the law for the people, but the question is whether there is enforced is something that has to be answered by the state attorney or the sheriff's department, how they deal with that.
So we went back to our Southwest Florida law enforcement agencies asking for all incident reports involving Statute 713 for the last 2 years, as well as any other incident report in which a person was arrested regarding contracting work. Fort Myers, Naples, and KPD had 0 reports. The Collier and Charlotte County Sheriff's Offices also had 0, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office had 2 arrests related to contracting fraud. One of those 2 cases has since been dropped by the state attorney's office.
Victims want to know, why aren't police arresting these guys?
Well, from a law enforcement perspective, it starts at the road, of course. Your patrol officer is going to come out and take that complaint. They have to determine whether there's probable cause for an arrest.
It just seems, though, with all these people saying the same thing and having the same stories, it looks like it fits the statute. You know, why does it take so long? You know, why doesn't it fit the statute?
It's a matter of, like I said, we send the warrant request to the state, and we package together the best case we can if we determine that, yes, we believe this rises to the level of a crime, but we have to send it to the state for a filing decision. At that point, you know, we just have to wait to see what comes back from the state.
So we called and emailed our state attorney's office, requesting the total number of complaints or warrant requests involving Florida Statute 713 for the last 2 years. Spokesperson Samantha Sion told me, quote, there were no public records under that statute. That statute was utilized one time and it is not a public record, end quote. She went on to tell me that the Economics Crimes Unit has had 72 convictions in the last year, none related to contractor fraud.
Do you think that's a problem?
Absolutely.
Definitely sounds like it's a problem.
What would you say to law enforcement? What would you say to the state attorney's office when it comes to contractor fraud?
It's theft.
It's theft.
They proved that they stole money. Arrest them. Put them through. Do that a couple of times and people would stop doing it so much.
Right, make an example of a few,
Exactly.
and then the contractors would think twice about taking your money and just pocketing it.
Through public record requests, I also confirmed that 28 Lee, Collier, and Charlotte County contractors lost their licenses over the last 2 years. When I ran their names through court records, I confirmed that 0 faced criminal charges related to contracting fraud. Kelly?
Unbelievable. Rachel, is there ever any hope for these poor people to get their money back?
Well, it's not easy, but it can be done. My colleague David Hodges talked with a woman who just did it. He also tracked down state regulators to question how they're handling these types of issues. We'll have that part of the story for you tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. For the NBC2 investigators, I'm Rachel Plansky.